So timing is everything. I find Q1 is the best. That's why we're talking about this in early January, as we're all excited and optimistic to kick off our businesses this year in pursuit of our growth. Again, you've paid to acquire these people. So now it's all about converting them. So step one, you're going to need to organize your 2019 list. Now you can go back even further if you'd like, but to keep it simple and to test it, just go back to your 2019 list. And what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to build a tailored message to each group. And I'm going to give you the groups to break down your 2019 list into. One is past customers. Now, some of you may not be able to sell your product or service to your customers again, but maybe you can upsell them. Maybe you can give them new products or services. And there may be a few people on the webinar today that just based on the business, they can't ever go back to past customers. So if that's a thing, no problem. But for most of you, I imagine based on industries we work with, you should be able to get a list of all of your past customers in place. Number two would be your not closed. What is the not closed list? Meaning these are all of the individuals that came in and you got them in the pipeline, you tried to sell them your product or service, and you did not end up getting the deal done, meaning they have not landed yet. And they could have given you an assortment of reasons, all the way back to Q1 of last year, just saying it wasn't the right timing or we're not interested. Don't remove anyone. Just build the lists and organize them so you have their emails and phone numbers for all of your customer and prospect lists. And your third is your dead leads. These are folks that maybe had reached out to you or you had identified them and maybe you started to have the conversation, but you never quite got into the actual sales process. You never actually got a hold of them to continue the discussion, you or your sales team. And so I want you to think about these three separated lists because each of these, you have to send them a tailored message to be able to get them back in to your sales funnel. So step one, and obviously we're not going to do this as part of the workshop today. This is going to take a little bit, but work with your team to pull this list together or you go pull this list together. And I'm going to walk you through what to do with each of them. So let's talk about how you're going to plan your approach, right? On your planning your approach, it's identify the email server with click tracking. You have to have an email system that allows you to track clicks. This is very, very important. What I mean is when you send an email, you would have the reporting to know if they clicked on something in that email or not. This is a very crucial small thing you have to have set up to really set up a strong win-back campaign that does the work for you. My favorite program is Active Campaign. I know there's a bunch of others out there. If somebody has a favorite they'd like to share, feel free to throw that in the chat. But my favorite is Active Campaign. Now, you're going to end up building 2 to 4 emails per list. And we are going to put 5 to 7 days between them. And I see a couple people saying, hey, we do face-to-face. No problem. You can still follow this program just through getting on the phone and leaving voicemails or making phone calls to get them back. This isn't about making the sale. This is about getting them re-engaged, coming back to potentially get to that face-to-face sale. That's what the purpose of this conversion is.